Everyone calls them humble. Some call them mysterious. But psychology tells us that people who treat their birthday like a normal day are neither. What is actually happening inside their mind is something most people never talk about. Here is the real question. Why would someone wake up on their birthday and feel absolutely nothing? Is it humility? Is it emotional maturity? Or is it something much darker that started long before they were old enough to understand it? The first thing psychology points to is emotional conditioning. Birthdays are not just dates, they are annual reminders of how loved and valued you are. But for some people, birthdays were never celebrated that way. Maybe the day passed quietly in childhood, maybe promises were made and broken. Maybe they learned very early that expecting something special on that day only led to disappointment. So the mind made a decision, a quiet, unconscious one. If you never expect anything, you can never be let down. If you treat the day like any other, nobody can fail you. The indifference is not natural. It was built, one forgotten birthday at a time. The second thing is a complicated relationship with attention. There is a common assumption that people who downplay their birthday are simply introverted or private. But psychology reveals something more specific. Many of these people are deeply uncomfortable being the center of attention, not because they are shy, but because somewhere in their past, attention came with conditions. Maybe they were only noticed when they achieved something. Maybe love in their home was transactional. So being celebrated simply for existing, just for being born, feels foreign. It feels unearned. And anything that feels unearned creates anxiety, not joy. The third layer is self-worth. This is the one nobody talks about openly. Birthdays are a celebration of you, not what you did, not what you produced, not what you contributed. Just you. And for people who have spent their entire lives tying their value to their usefulness, that kind of unconditional celebration is deeply uncomfortable. Psychologists call this contingent self-worth, the belief that you only deserve good things when you have done something to earn them. A birthday asks nothing of you. And for some people, that is the most unsettling thing in the world. Now here is where it gets even more interesting. Research in social psychology shows that how we respond to our own birthdays is closely tied to attachment style. People with avoidant attachment, those who learned early that depending on others leads to pain, often minimize birthdays as a way of minimizing vulnerability. If you do not celebrate, nobody can disappoint you. If you do not tell anyone, nobody can forget. It is emotional self-protection dressed up as indifference. But not everyone who downplays their birthday carries pain. Some people simply reached a point in life where the noise around birthdays started to feel hollow. The parties, the posts, the performative celebrations, none of it matched what they actually wanted, which was something quieter and more genuine. Psychology calls this hedonic adaptation, the process by which we stop finding joy in things that no longer feel authentic to who we are. For these people, treating their birthday like a normal day is not avoidance, it is clarity. They have simply stopped performing celebration for an audience and started deciding what the day actually means to them. So how do you tell the difference between someone who is protecting themselves and someone who has genuinely made peace with the day? Watch what happens when someone remembers without being told. When a friend shows up unexpectedly. When a small, quiet gesture is made with no performance attached. The person who is protecting themselves will deflect, minimize, or feel deeply uncomfortable. The person who has genuinely made peace will receive it simply, with a quiet smile and nothing to prove. Birthdays reveal something most people never examine. They show us how we feel about being loved without reason, how we feel about taking up space, how we feel about simply existing in a world that does not always make room for that. The person who treats their birthday like a normal day is not humble. They are not mysterious. They are someone who was never fully taught that just being here, just being alive, is enough. And that is not a personality trait. That is a wound still waiting to be seen.